Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gendron Tarot by Melanie Gendron. Website in the top here is usgamesinc.com. Supportive Oracle cards. Whispers of Love. It's by Angela Hartfield, and the artwork is by Josephine Wall. So there's the spellings for those names. I'll give you the website. It's is it Blue Angel Online? It's not sticking in my brain yet. Blue Angel Online? Yeah. Blue Angel Online. There we go. It's in the published by part there. Feel free to freeze frame if you want that information, of course. Okay. What do we have for Sagittarius? Got healing. That's good. Alright, your cards are pretty good. Let's see what you're dealing with. We have like a secondary line going on here. I think I'm going to need the top three of these. So if we can just pick those. Is this a double card? No. Okay, it's more important. I don't know how this is going to sound. More important to go with what you really want, what you're really drawn to, rather than what somebody else wants you to do. Because you're setting up the long term here. Giving in now, given once now, given 3 times later. Like, I don't know. If you give in now, I just feel like this is going to go bad, because they're warning. I feel like this is the warning card. The Two of Pentacles is like, this decision you're making is having a long-term effect. And I feel that with the Two of Pentacles. Like, a decision being made now is having a long-term effect. Whatever flavor it starts off with, it just gets more intense. So if we're going to use, like, food, I don't know why. But if you have a mild strawberry flavor to start, it's going to be a very overpowering strawberry flavor later. This is why I'm saying, if you give in now, it's like... It's like you're giving in 3 times as much later. I feel like they're warning about that. Be careful what you give into. Can we have a little bit of strength and 8 of fire. They're going really fast, but just do it the way you want it done. Just do it the way you want to do it. Just do it. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt, of course, but like, however you want to do it, just do it that way. Just do it that way. Do yourself a favor. Because you're setting the tone. Because people won't call on you if they don't like that, and that's okay. That's gonna work to your benefit. Let it work to your benefit. Because it seems like the energy is like compatible with you. I'm not saying it's not, but that's the trick. This is a compatible energy with you, but if you end up just doing things the way somebody else wants to, I just don't feel like this is right. Do it the way you want to. Just go ahead and do it the way you want to. Don't ask too many questions. Just do it. You got the Prince of Cups, which in this deck, the way I read them, like the Prince and Princess are equal. The Queen and King are equal. The way that Melanie has them in the book, she lists the Queen, the King, the Princess, the Prince, which is cool. But that's how I normally read. I don't like put one gender above another. But what are we saying here with this? I just want to like put that in context, compared, just in case what I say next seems weird. Strength again. Strength, and then the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this is just more of what I already said. However you're starting this is how it stays. So if you start just making your own decisions and just going ahead and doing that it's like it'll just lock in that way, and the whole thing will go the way you want it to go. I mean, if you're putting in all the effort, why shouldn't it? Not for nothing. If you let somebody else make the decision in the beginning, they make all the decisions the whole way through. It just sets the tone. I don't think that's going to work for you as well. I just feel like that's very draining. Okay, this is a comparison. Okay, so you got 2 different versions here. if you do it, I'm going to do that one first. If you do it, if you choose the way you're going to go, and I'm an intuitive reader. I know it says the only thing that's real is love. But what I'm getting, I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying from this card, what I'm gathering, if you choose where you're going, there's so much more opens up for you. You have so much more creativity. You get to decide how and when it's going to get done. To a point, obviously, you can, what boundaries you can work within. But it's much more freeing and it's much more energizing to you. I feel like when Sagittarius is allowed to do it the way they want to do it, the way they need to do it, you become even stronger. You get even more done because you have that freedom to move as you need to. It's like getting it all done ahead of schedule very well. If you let somebody else choose for you, this is not a compatible energy for Sagittarius, just, base energy to base energy. It's not really compatible energy. It's more of an earth energy. It's a slower moving energy than you. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it doesn't work for you. And I feel very confined. I feel very waiting. I feel like I'm waiting a lot. I can't do as much as I want because I have to wait for the other person or whoever this is to make the decision. Things don't move forward as well. This is also the difference between somebody going into a leadership role versus a follower role. People who just go ahead and make decisions and get things done the way they need to and produce good results, they tend to move ahead easier, as long as those decisions are what the people in control want. But the people who have to constantly be led or constantly put in positions where they're just constantly led, it's setting the tone for this situation. If you let somebody else make the decision, it feels draining. It feels like I get less than half done of what I would have, because it's so draining, and I don't want to do it, and I don't like having to wait for somebody else to decide for me. I don't feel like I have the freedom to grow or the freedom to expand like I need to really make that bounty come in. Now I will give the balance here. If you make the decisions, the other person is going to feel trapped. But there's an energy around them that seems to like it. So whoever you're dealing with feels trapped. The person around them seems like the overall outcome is good. But it's kind of like they don't have control and they don't like it. They're not going to like it. So I guess the choice is, who should not like it, you or them? If you decide you're the one who should be unhappy, and I guess you're going to have to go with that. It feels like one or the other, and it feels like one or the other. That strength card came out literally a third time. Okay, and the Nine of Swords. It's going to be stressful for them. They're not going to like it, but they're going to have the strength to move forward. One of you has to have the strength to follow the other. It's going to be very draining. The thing is, when I'm feeling this, if you're the one in control, I feel like we get a lot more done, and it's much more lucrative, much more effective. If it's the other side that makes the decisions, I feel like it's less than 50%. I literally keep seeing 20%, but I'm really kind of hoping it's not that bad. Like 20% of what you would have had. So if you take $1, like instead of getting $1, you're getting 20 cents. Every hour, instead of making $1, you're making 20 cents, just as a comparison. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. If you're making the decisions, it's better for everybody, technically. Like $1 versus 20 cents. Just think of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even like maybe it's like maybe a day. Maybe instead of making $100 a day, you're making $20 a day. Like, you could do a lot more with $100 than $20. If they make the decisions, it's just, you're not going to be able to expand and make things lucrative. And it's weird because I feel like if the other person starts making decisions, I feel like $20 is what you're making a day. But I feel like they're like, well, the best we could have made was $30 anyway, so to them it's not that bad. They're not even going to know the difference. But if you start taking over and making decisions, making $100 a day, even if you have 1 or 2 days where you just don't make any money at all, in one day you've made what they would have made in 1 week. You know what I'm saying? 1 work week. You know what I mean? 5 days. Here where I live. Because the end result, what people are going to be looking at is the end result. So at the end of the week, say the way you do it, it turns out only 3 days were actually lucrative. The other 2 were kind of wasted. That's $300. If you follow the other person's logic and every day they make out good, it's $20 every day. That's $100 versus your $300. I'm just saying. Just keep that in mind. Because the people who are really looking, they are more interested in the $300 versus the $100. Just because the other person does it perfect and by the book and by the rules, and they make $100 at the end of the day, though. Your way may have mistakes and problems and things that have to be fixed, but you're making $300 at the end of the week. 100 at the end of the week, 300. Like, you're going to be really more beneficial to the whole situation. Maybe it's not perfect, maybe it's not squeaky clean, but I don't know. I don't think of Sagittarius as squeaky clean. I think of Sagittarius as making messes every now and then, but like, they're worthwhile. They're great lessons. It makes life fun. It's worth it. I feel like it's very much worth the errors. Through the errors you learn. Like, most of us learn through the school of hard knocks. You learn those lessons, you tend not to forget them. So that's what makes Sagittarius so beneficial, so important. Is there something else here? There's healing coming in by you making choices too. I see another good card, but we haven't quite gotten to it yet. It will stabilize in your favor, and there will be a lot of healing here. Because going your way, I do see there will be a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes that expose things that aren't right anyway, that will allow for a lot of healing. If you don't know something's wrong, you can't fix it. Well, not more than likely. You probably won't fix something if you don't know there's something wrong. This is worthwhile. You will make mistakes, but these are good mistakes in the sense of, like, you're going to highlight something that wasn't working right anyway. If you make mistakes, things can be fixed, things can go better, things can evolve to a higher level. It's not going to be perfect, but I don't think of Sagittarius as perfect. I don't think of Sagittarius as like having that feeling like things have to be perfect. Things don't have to be perfect. You will stabilize things. The ironic part is you will end up stabilizing things to a point where they're much, much better than they were anyway. $300 a week versus $100 a week. Plus, highlighting things that aren't working so that they can be fixed. Things that would not have been highlighted. If everything's going right, everything's going right, everything's going right, everything's going right, people have that if it's not broke, don't fix it attitude, which is not always the best attitude, because things just fester there until all of a sudden you didn't deal with it, and then when things really start to fall apart, everything maybe just falls apart all at once, and then you're really stuck. It's better the way you're doing it. I'm telling you, I feel like it's better the way you're doing it. Make the mistakes. Don't be afraid to make the mistakes. Be the one who's in charge. Accept that there's going to be problems, and problems that are great problems that allow the situation to go much better than it ever would have anyway. There's a long-term success goal here coming in with you leading. The success is depending on, like, if you let them lead, it's successful, but you never know how good it really would have been. If you lead, it's much more than people thought it could be, much better than people thought it could be, and things are healing that people are ignoring because they're like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They only are going to see that it's actually broke when you make your mistakes. Your mistakes are great mistakes. It's good to make mistakes sometimes in this context. It's good to make mistakes. Doesn't it? I should put that as the title. What's going to happen? It's good to make mistakes. I'm going to do it. All right. I hope we'll find out if I did it. Who knows? I might change my mind. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, email@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.